All right. I'm glad I was asking. Hold on. We might have to kill the card cam. Okay. Can you hear me now? All right. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me or. Okay. Great. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to, I see you guys on the YouTube channel. I see you guys on a couple of Facebook channels. Facebook doesn't let you comment early. YouTube does. So my list looks different than probably wherever you guys are hanging out. I'm not skipping you on purpose. I'll get to as many of you as I can during this time. If you're watching this later, and you basically, what I would recommend is if you're watching this after the fact, you'll get the weekly reading that we all get. There's a 1, 2, 3 card pull that you can use, and then listen to what other messages resonate with you. Same thing for those of you guys who are watching live. A lot of time the messages will start to come over and over and over. Last week we got lots of tree messages. So it's a lot of times the guys are all showing up to tell us all messages. Okay, so I see you guys there. I appreciate you. The hack for this whole thing is if you go to YouTube and hit subscribe, and then if you hit the bell button, you'll get notified when I go live too. So anyway, but we are also coming in from Facebook. So I see you guys out there. Couple announcements before I get going. Next weekend is the mini reboot retreat. So it's like 9 to 3 or and 9 to 3:30. It's basically a day of, we're going to do Reiki group healing. Then we're going to do a message from the Light Council for me, which is a big deal. The Light Council doesn't normally go that long, so I don't even know what that will look like yet. And then we're going to do sound bath, lunch, then a sound bath, and then a world offering. Okay. So if you're local, this is a local event, and you're interested in a day of just kind of resetting and offering healthy energy to the world, that is our intention, and you should join us. New Moon Ritual still has spots too. That is August 27th from 6 to 7. And that one's going to be about clearing out bad habits, misguided direction, stuck emotions. And then it's going to be bringing in like trust in the universe and flow. So anyway, those are just a couple things to keep in mind. I'll put this up here just for a second. As far as our helper friends go, we've got Amanda Ellis's golden citrine spray. This says it's for solar plexus energy. And the bottle's really shiny. So surrogating you all out there with that one. And then we've got this month's stone, which is, the lighting doesn't do it justice, but this is a Herkimer, not Herkimer, a rutilated quartz. I don't know why I went off the rails there, but rutilated quartz is very strong in its ability to amplify things. So it's really good to use with other stones, or just to put where you need some amplifying energy. Okay. All right, so we're using the L key deck for the individual cards today, and we're going to start off with our weekly reading. All right, let's see how this goes. All right. First card for the week, Compassion Sideways. So that is saying that we are being judgy little people right now, and that it would be good to recognize how judgmental we're being and where we're not having compassion even for ourselves. So just a little check on that right now. Helper card for the week is positive attitudes. Okay. So having a positive attitude for the week is something that obviously, say yes as often as you can. See where you're saying no too often. See where you can just start saying yes, even if you're saying yes to something that's a boundary setting, right? Like say yes to my boundaries, but just in a positive attitude rather than that negative pushy way. End of the week going to be about taking care of your physical body. So doing some things to just nurture. Great time to go to a mini retreat. Doing some things to nurture yourself, acknowledging that your body is part of the huge experience you're having in this consciousness. And when your body feels good, you feel good. So next weekend, if you can, as you're approaching the end of the week, start planning for some time to get yourself taken care of. I'm taking my kiddo to college, so I will be celebrating that launch. Okay, so let's do the L key deck next. So this is She Who. They're all females, but that does not mean that you males out there are not needing her energy. All right, so starting off with 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So acknowledging which card resonates with you. My card cam is being glitchy. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. First one, if you picked her, is she who is present now, awareness and acceptance. There's no time like the present, right? So this is very much a good time for you to acknowledge that this is a time to just pay attention, try not to jump too far ahead, try not to be in any kind of struggle with the timing. If you picked 2, she who knows, sit in your wisdom this week. Understand that you have clarity and resolution. Be in the eyes wide open space with your mouth shut. Pay attention, observe, know what you know. All right, if you picked 3, you got she who becomes. Metamorphosis, transcend, and journey. So if you picked that card, this week's going to be a transformation week for you, and fighting it will not help anybody. So just opening your heart up. You see that she's kind of got her heart opening up here. Open your heart up. Let that change happen. Okay? All right, let's get started. And as I remind you guys, if you hear a message that is resonant to you, that probably means it is to you. Your guides are all showing up as a group. That's, it's kind of an interesting thing that happens when we do guides group too. But they come up and they won't have messages over and over. Sometimes we'll see the cards 3 times, and that actually means we need to all hear them. Okay. All right. So here we go. Rob, you made it to the top of the list again. She who waits, Manara, patience, waiting, and determination. So for you this week, patience. See the little butterfly in her hand? Don't grab it. Don't grasp it. Don't push too hard. It will come at its own divine timing. So patience for you this week. Cynthia, your message for the week is she who listens, understanding, witness, and compassion. Okay, and she's leaning in with her hand on her heart. So this is very much listening with compassion to yourself and others. That was the card that came up at the beginning too. This week for you is to recognize where you maybe are being into heavy criticism or judgment of yourself or others, and instead go back to compassionate listening and see what reveals itself. Okay. Vanessa, you got she who stands. Now, this one is a little rough. I mean, she's got a bloody sword in her hand. It's resolute, implacable, and determined. So this is like, just hold your ground. You've already battled. That's what the bloody swords indicates. You've already battled. You've already earned your stripes. Just stand your ground. Now, this means don't be wavering either. Like if you're making too many concessions for people, just be acknowledging that, okay? So stand your ground this week. Tiff, your card for the week is she who surprises. Surprise, discovery, and redirection. So this is asking you to just get out of your own habits, get out of your own patterns, and just be surprised. Just be curious. See how magical the world around you is, and then go from there. Okay? All right. Shmile, this week for you is also she who waits. So patience, waiting. The card thing is being glitchy. Come on. There it is. Okay, so waiting and knowing that it's not time right now. It's just things are unfolding. Don't grab onto anything. Just watch things reveal. Okay. Diana. Glitchy card deck again. Okay, she who persists, perspective, defiant, and persistent. Okay. So this is it's like it's okay to just be who you are. It's okay to stand up for yourself. It's okay. You don't have to battle though. Notice that this woman doesn't have a sword in her hand or a shield. She is simply in her soft awareness. So it's this week's soft awareness in your perspective is not necessarily wrong, even if someone else doesn't see it. So it's okay to sit in your perspective this week. Okay. Barbara. Ooh, she who what grants wishes. All right. Wish, desires, and hope. So this week for you, and if you kind of combine it with the rest of the messages we've been getting, is going to be magical and surprising if you are present and you are able to say yes as often as you can to experiences. Okay. Michaela. Your card is she who is present now, awareness and acceptance. Okay, so if you pick that card at the beginning, there it is again. And it is saying to you, it's a good time for you just to pay attention and use your presence as the magical gift. Okay. So when we're too far forward, we're anxious, we're missing the boat on receiving what we've already asked for. Okay. So just come back into present time. A good technique is just to imagine a Mobius strip magnet above your head that calls back all your energy from all directions of time and space. Let it cleanse and drop it in like an Alka-Seltzer tablet. It just restores it. Okay. Diane, you got she who changes, transformation, change, and enchantment. Okay, so that's not a bad thing. And you can see, look at, there's a little moon symbol. So this is something to be paying attention to right now, is the phases of the moon and how you might be working with those in order to help you with these transformations. Okay, so you can just Google it, moon phases, best time to do blah, and it will tell you. All right, Miranda. I love these cards too, Vanessa. These are they're pretty, and they're just, All right, Miranda. You got she who loved once, fragile secret love rejection. Might have a little nostalgia this week for you, a little bit of cleansing out. If you remember the card at the beginning of being compassionate for the self, it might be time to go revisit past hurts that you weren't capable of clearing out when it was time. And now let yourself be in a space to go ahead and acknowledge that maybe there were some people, relationships that maybe hurt you, and that it's okay to clear them out this week. Okay. Remember to really focus on that body health too. Natalie, you got she who becomes. So if you picked this earlier, this is coming back. Metamorphosis, time for change, time to let yourself completely open up to who you are here to be. This is really intense timing for us as far as everything that's going on energetically. There's so many transformation opportunities, which means sometimes it's a little painful because it's a big change time period. So it's just letting yourself acknowledge, I am where I'm becoming something different than I once was. And that's not a bad thing. Robin, she who is wild, savage, untamed, wild, mysterious. Okay, beat your own drum this week. That's what this is saying. Be allowing yourself to open up to just kind of like, whatever feels like good to you. Dance, sing, lay in the grass, do whatever it makes sense to you to kind of get that wild one out so that she may reveal some healing that can be done. Okay. Mountain River, you got she who questions, curiosity, destiny, and search. So her mouth is closed, but she's attracting this giant flower on her neck. She's attracting, new things, new experiences. She's staying open to those new experiences. In particular, how she might use her throat chakra without actually using her throat chakra. Just being who she is, asking questions when necessary, and being open. So remember the yes card too, saying yes when you can. Tanya, your card is she who divines. So future, choice, and judgment. So there's things to be thinking about this week that might be giving you some hints as to what might be best. You can get out your tools. She's got tarot cards in her hands, a playing card in her hand. She's got a dice, keys, all kinds of things on her. So you can use tools, to kind of see if you can hear the messages more clearly. Okay. All right, Kimberly, you're ready. Thank you for last night, by the way, the tickets. Okay, Kimberly. Oh, this card deck. There we go. She who emerges, enlightenment, mindfulness, and rise up. I don't know if you can see this card, but she is literally coming out of the muck, and her dress is like a beautiful white, clean already as she looks at the lotus. So whatever you're going through right now, whatever that feels like, it's just, it's a cleansing period. It's a clarifying period. It may not feel amazing, but you're coming out on top. You're emerging, okay? Janelle and Donnie. Janelle, you got she who enfolds, swath, embrace, and self-care. She's got a million blankets around her, okay? And a little magpie friend or a little birdie friend on her that's saying, I got you. Like, just take care of yourself this week, okay? Lots of self-care. That physical card coming up too. Just take care of your body, take care of yourself. Okay, Donnie, you got she who regrets, battle, victory, and bitterness. Okay, so she's standing on a bunch of skulls and she's kind of like, I should have picked my battles differently. So this week, just be careful what battles you pick and recognize that maybe you would regret it if you pick a battle that isn't necessarily good, where there's no winners. Okay, so be cautious this week about your regrets and also take a bit to go and look at what you already regret that maybe you could just heal from. Janice, she who prepares, formulates, strategize, devise. So she's already got her warrior status. She's done it. She's been there. She knows what she needs to do next. And it's just making a plan, okay, and recognizing your own wisdom. Light transformations. We're just cruising along here, aren't we, you guys? All right, light transformation. See who surrenders, chains, bondage, and release. She is holding on to stories from her past. She's got them up against her chest. And there's these two waterfalls in the background, and there's a chain around her ankle that is self-created. So this week, be careful where you are bonding yourself to your old stories and your own pain and how you're holding it tight to your chest. Okay, so this week, surrender those stories. Rachel, here's your card. She who knows. Okay, so again, this card showed up in the 3 cards. So if you picked 2, now it's coming back around and reminding you again. Wisdom, clarity, and resolution. Mouth closed, eyes open. Know what you know. Know that it's okay to know what you know. And then give yourself a little space to acknowledge that your wisdom might be just for you and not to tell anybody else. Okay. Heather, your card is she who resists. She's another one with a bloody sword in her hand. So she's already fought. Okay. It says fearless, justified, and resistant. Now, this, the resistance is go ahead and fight the battles you've been fighting if you need to. Stand your ground, but acknowledge that you don't have to, be prepared. Like she's just kind of like, I am going to let you be in your place. Now, remember, we got the yes card, but yes to good boundaries too. Okay. Yes to good boundaries. Yes to resisting people asking for things that they are not entitled to. Althea, you got she who becomes, which is the 3rd time. So that means this card is for all of us this week. But for you, Althea, time to transcend. Okay. So yes, it has happened. Yes, that has all gone on. Holy cow, that was a lot. And now it's time to let yourself become something different because of what is emerging out of your experience. Okay. So for all of us this week, but especially for those of you who are really needing, just surrender to this change. You can't resist it anyways. All right. Aaron. Oh, I swear I shuffled. Same message. Let yourselves change, you guys. I'm going to read the little questions from the book for you just to kind of consider, because it's a big time of change in general. Okay. So the question is, what is the next level for me? How can I benefit the most from this transcending? And what challenges me the most on my current spiritual journey? So those would be new extra contemplations for this week, but just kind of know it's already happening. Okay. Maria, you're the first one coming in on Facebook, and I'll remind you guys, I'm looking at a couple of different feeds. I'm using StreamYard, and YouTube lets you comment earlier, whereas Facebook waits till you're live. So all those people joined earlier. Okay, here we go. She who dreams. Okay, so she who dreams and escape dreams fantasy. This week might be a good week to just kind of not do anything in particular, but just kind of get your fantasy going. See what you would want to do and what feels good. Saying yes as often as you can. Okay. All right, Carrie, your week focus is she who sees, observe, perceive, and scrutinize. Okay, so card thing is glitching. Let's see if there we go. So this is asking you to be aware that what you know, and see, she has 2 sets of eyes here. She knows what she knows. Her higher truth is totally intact. And sometimes the rest of the world can't validate it, and that's okay. It's maybe just for you to see what you see and scrutinize what you need to scrutinize. Okay. Meredith. Oh, I shuffled, I swear. Same thing. See, this is also an example of how the guides get together and they like, my person too, and they put you guys in the same like area. So she who sees, observe, perceive, scrutinize, ask lots of questions, see the truth, even when the truth is being obscured. Sometimes the truth is being presented in plain sight and then mocked. Okay. So be aware of that and just keep yourself in, eyes wide open kind of space. Okay. Nicole and Seth. Nicole, she who listens, that compassion, understanding, witness, compassion. She's leaning in. She's got her hand on her heart and she is listening intently. So this is a good week for you just to be a good listener and have compassion for where everybody else is coming from. All right, Seth. All right, you got she who surrenders, which we just heard a few minutes ago. Chains, bondage, and release. So the story, hanging on to stories, hanging on to pains. Don't take things so personally. Nothing is happening to you. It's happening with you. And if you work with the universe this week, it will show you that. Okay. Yes, as often as you can. Punitive doesn't always work too. So just kind of keep that in mind in your relationship. Sometimes it's better to be restorative. Okay. All right, Heidi. Heidi. Uh-oh. Heidi. No, just kidding. It's never an uh-oh. Okay. She who battles, justice, fierce, and commitment. Now, this woman doesn't have a bloody sword. She's ready to go to battle. She's ready. She knows that she doesn't have to hold her sword up, though. That she's just bringing her tools with her so that she can make sure the right thing gets done. So this week, it is not about right fighting, but it is about justice for you and being willing to push for what is justified. Okay. So this week, a little justice week for you and a little strength in that. Deanna. Okay. Third time's a charm. We've seen this one again, although you can't see it yet because it's glitching. She who surrenders, chains, bondage, and release. Okay. So we're holding on to stories that are not serving us, in particular about how others have hurt us. I'm going to read the little questions for you to contemplate. Okay. Am I surrendering to old pain or releasing it? If I could write a letter to one person who hurt me, what would I say? And which chain link can I break today? Okay, so old stories, old patterns. Notice where you're hanging on to them and not letting them go. That might be a thing that is going on right now. Okay. All right. Lindsay, your card is she who doubts, fear, wariness, trust. She's holding herself back because she doesn't trust the universe. Okay, now here's the cool thing about what's coming up in this new moon. The new moon, not this week, but next week, is going to be preparing you to surrender to the universe's plan for you with your plan and trusting that you and the universe are both working in a positive direction. So that's what this card is asking you to address this week, is where your fears are holding you back and where you're maybe not letting yourself get through. Okay. When I say get through, it's because you're holding yourself back. You're like, you could push through, but you're instead stuck and just hiding. Okay. So see about that this week. All right, Stephanie, you got she who calms, stillness, purity, quiet. Sometimes we get a lot of the same cards and sometimes we don't. And today it seems like there's lots of different messages and themes. So for you, it's calming yourself, letting yourself just be quiet. Stillness, surrender, quiet has a lot of help sometimes to our nervous system. So spending time in quiet this week as best you can. Jordan, for you this week, you are also in a self-care. She who unfolds, swath, embrace, and self-care. Taking good care of yourself, slow down, drink some, nice, yummy tea, hang out with the people that make you feel safe, do the things that make you feel rested. Okay. So take care of yourself this week. Not that we shouldn't take care of ourselves every week, but in particular, it's going to be more relevant. Francis, your card. Okay. Third time's a charm for this one too. She who listens, understanding, witness, and compassion. Okay, I'm going to read the little questions again, just to give everybody, but basically it's asking you to just listen with compassion. Notice where you've been super judgmental and let yourself just stop being so judgmental right now and just listen and be listened to. Who will listen to me without judgment? What tales of mine need telling? How can I best release the stories of my inner self. I do feel like this week is a little bit about the stories that are helpful to us, the stories that need to be told, the stories that need to be just let go of and transcended. Okay. So just acknowledging that all is shifting right now for you this week. Okay. Pam, you're ready to strategize. She who prepares, formulates, strategize, devise. This week for you is a planning week, a week for you to pay attention to the things that are coming up and are allowing yourselves, to use your own skills and your wisdom from the past. Okay. This week, a planning week. Strategize. All right, you guys, we've got about 4 minutes left, and I'm going to call out the last name on the list that I see right now that I'm going to attempt to get to. So Alicia, I see you. Then I see Christy, Gina, Kelly. So I'm coming. All right, Karen, you've got she who questions, curiosity, destiny, and search. Now, this is how can I be seen and use my own truth to be seen and not necessarily work so hard about it. Okay. So just let yourself acknowledge that there is ways to be put out there that are involving kind of like your communication space, but that don't involve your mouth. Okay. So maybe that's marketing, maybe that's, just imaging, that kind of stuff. Okay. Kim, this week's focus for you is she who grants wishes, desires, and hopes. So be sure to put your wishes out there this week. Let yourself acknowledge that there might be some things that you really would like and that the universe maybe didn't get the order yet because you've been too shy to tell the universe. Okay. Sarah, she who creates creativity, originality, and spontaneity. This woman is not afraid to be seen as the fool. She's not afraid to dress the way she wants. She's not afraid to do what she wants. She is willing to make mistakes. She does have a little bit of naive energy. That's okay. That's what makes her fun. So just a little creative week for you. And don't worry about what other people think. Kayla, you've got she who yearns, yearning, longing, and pining for. So just acknowledge if you're stuck in wanting something that maybe isn't coming and acknowledge that that's okay to recognize and let it go. Remember, if the focus is on saying yes to the present moment and saying yes to the things that are showing up and not necessarily focusing on the things that aren't showing up. Crystal, she who whispers, secrets, confessions, and confidant. Okay, so this card is being willing to keep the secrets, being willing to listen, being willing to hold the truth with your closest without having to, I guess, unveil anything. Be a good secret keeper this week. Not in a negative way, but in the positive. Kimberly, you got she who instigates, leadership, provocation, and power. She is ready to go. So you are being asked to step into some leadership role. This message has been coming up for you for a while, I think, and I think it's time to just kind of explore that a little bit more. Where could you be in a leadership role, and how can you be using that energy wisely? All right, Gina. Gina D, she who nurtures empathy, gentleness, and insight. Use your intuition this week. Be open to the fact that you have time and energy and space to, be in that perceptual space this week. And don't forget to say yes to it. Kelly, your card is she who flies, dare, do, reach. So this week is a good action week for you. So taking some time to step into some action. All right. Gina K, you've got she who hesitates, ponder, delay, confidence. So this card is asking you this week to see where you're hesitating, see where your confidence is holding you back, and just pay attention to it and just say yes when you can to the things that you can say yes to and not no, because hesitating has been holding you back, basically. Okay. All right. Christy and Alicia are my last two here. Christy, she who is present. That's the third time we've seen it. So of course, you guys, anytime, it's true for all of us to be present more, but now awareness and acceptance is the key word for you, Christy, this week. Accepting what is, just paying attention, just keeping your eyes open, try not to build a story around it. Okay. It's easier said than done sometimes. Okay. Alicia, your last one. Okay, she who divines, future, choice, and judgment. So whatever you have on your plate, it might be good to pull an oracle card or roll the dice or do something outside of yourself to help you make a decision, because that's what's going to help you kind of clarify what's going on, is you'll use your divination tools. All right, you guys, I hope you have an amazing week. If you are interested in more messages about what's going on with the general energy, you might check out the Light Council. It is definitely a useful experience, or come have a retreat with us. All right. I'm grateful for all of you. See you later. Bye.